When Woody, your boy Woody did SNL, I think he tweaked up his monologue. I thought that was interesting. I've never seen that happen.
Tweaked up?
Like he changed it.
I worked on that with him.
But I don't know if he changed it. You'd be the one to ask. I don't know if he changed it. I just know that that's not really what they do there.
Absolutely, it's not.
And I thought Woody was just cool because
for
comedy, do both sides. Let the host say whatever he wants. That's interesting.
Okay. You know, he and I are very close.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying it for that reason, but first of all, what an amazingly great guy. Yes. And what a ballsy move. Because, first of all,
it might get your adrenaline going, I bet.
Saturday Night Live. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the plot of certain movies, shows. It's live. They can't stop me. I'm going to do this. And this guy did it in real life. It was like, no, they can't because it is live. Yeah. And I'm going to tell this story. Now, I don't know how much they knew about what the ending of that story was, but it was also a brilliant way to make that point. And look, Woody and I have had just too many hours of discussions about vaccines and COVID and stuff. I would say we're 90% on the same page, but I certainly don't go as far as he does.
Sure.
But the theme that he was putting out there, I certainly am on that page of we should be much more skeptical of pharmaceutical companies. It's so funny when the Sackler family puts out these opioids, that's what is it, OxyContin, and they get sued, and for $8 billion they have to pay. And everybody goes, oh, well, the Sackler family, sure, pharmaceutical companies, billionaires, of course, corporate America, they can't be trusted. But when the same people are involved with, as Woody said, okay, you're going to have to stay home until you take our drug. Yeah, that's not to say that COVID wasn't a real thing, or that the vaccine wasn't helpful to millions of people who would have died without it, but it is a point that should be made, and the fact that he was able to, or willing to, put his considerable popularity, because he's a beloved figure, and say, I'm gonna take the hit of some political capital by making this statement in this very high-profile arena. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to give the guy props for that, even if you don't agree with it.
Right, I wouldn't do it. I have no opinions. I don't even have an opinion about this.
Oh my God.
I love that Woody did it because I watched it and I was like, and when it feels like it's off cards, like cue cards, where you think, and I've been there, I work there, and the monologue is like, sometimes it's written early enough to be in read-through on Wednesday, and sometimes they throw it together on a Saturday. My monologue got derailed when I went back to host.
Is that right?
Sandler was in it, and it was the weekend Waterboy opened. We're going back a ways, but Waterboy was such a big hit. He had to go back to LA to do something because it was that weekend. It was blowing up. We were like, holy shit, this is one of our guys,
Right.
And it was so big, and he goes, I got to go. And I'm like, oh, he's in my monologue, and I'm already in 13 sketches going, what's my monologue? Wow. And they go, well, Lauren goes, just, do something from your act. You're a comedian. I'm like, I don't never go on anymore. I'm on Just Shoot Me or whatever.
Really?
So I go, fuck. I pulled something from my last special and then something new I was working on. I go, but there's no practice. It's like I do it once for 6 people, the crew guys, and then I do it on dress and then air. And so I did it, and it was fun, but the monologue is scary anyway. Woody's not a stand-up. I thought he was very ballsy to say that. And I think Lauren maybe knew he would do something like that. That's what I had heard. And I like that Lauren said, not it's your funeral, but just you do it. If that's what you think, you'll take the heat. Sinead O'Connor ripped the thing up.
Right.
Tim Robbins, when I was on, came out and he wanted to slam GE. And that's our parent company.
Right.
And he said, GE, it brings good things to death.
Why?
And he just did it in his monologue. They were doing something back then, of course. I don't know anything about politics. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was too busy putting my nails on for Gap girls. So I couldn't give a shit. But I was like, wow. And he did it, and Lauren was like, let him do it. Because it's part of the fun of the show. And then later, Sinead O'Connor ripped up the picture of the Pope, and then they forgot about the Tim.
It was the same show?
Yeah.
Boy, these stories about SNL are great. We should do a podcast about wow, I'd never. But
anyway, Woody, to wrap that up, I thought a very interesting choice that he would do that. Because now you got to go to all your sketches when even the cast is probably like, holy shit, dude.
Right.
And
That's
it's
what I'm
scary
saying.
enough to do that show. It's scary enough.
Right. So
But
he gets the ultimate cojones.
I do like him because, you know, when he's on the new, we just had Justin Throw on, and he's on with Woody at the White House Plumbers.
Yeah.
So that's going to do fine and everything. And, you know, Woody is very, very well liked. And
no, it takes enormous balls and integrity to stand up for what you believe when you know that the opprobrium is going to come at you forcefully. And of course it did the next day. I saw the stories on the internet. It was right. I mean, it hadn't been, it's funny because I said to him before he did it, this might be a little too subtle for the crowd because it's a metaphor.
it was cloaked in it, yeah.
Are you cloaked it in this idea? Are they really going to get it? And of course they got it in 2 seconds and the haters were all over it.
But I didn't know where it was going. I was like,
Right.
oh, this is
But
weird. And then I
it's
go,
so
oh,
funny. Like, this is an example to me of real courage. Whereas there's so much stuff that people do now, like in situations just like that, where it's called courage, but it's not courage. Because here's the difference between courage. Courage is when you say something knowing you're going to get booed or hated. It's not courageous to go, I'm gay, in front of a very liberal audience that's going to give you a standing ovation.
Yeah.
It's not wrong, but it's like, that's not courage because they're loving it.
Well, you know, comics did Trump jokes mostly during the first election, that Trump was like kind of a crazy person. And then when they kept doing them, I'm like, all right, you can switch it now because now it's, you hear what Trump said and then everyone applauds. So it's, as a comic, you go, that's fine, whatever your politics are, but let's find a new angle that is, it's ballsier to say anything against that to make people go, oh shit, you're not saying what everyone's saying.
I saw this guy.
Hey, thanks for watching the clip. Hit the subscribe button now so you never miss out on our Club Random content that's posted daily.